All right, guys, what's up? It is Friday, and I think it's the 15th. I think it's 15th, something like that. Something along those lines. Yeah, September 15th, 2017, and I'm in Farmville, Virginia. You might just be able to make out the bus motor coach that I have over there. Let me zoom in real quick to it. I'm sorry, guys, I still can't tell you who I work for. But there's the bus right there, that big bulge right there poking out behind some vehicles. Has some motor coach there that I'm driving today. So let me turn the camera around on myself while I cover up who I work for so you can see me here. Hi. So I've got a team up here today at I'm probably not going to be able to pronounce that correctly. Probably not going to pronounce that correctly, but there you go. So, and I've up here today doing my regular thing, and as of this moment, and it's roughly well, you can see the time right there, Eastern Standard Time. Uber still has not restored my account. And when I asked about, or typed in to their final response to me, when I asked about, okay, once you got, when I asked about once you guys find out that the allegations are false, how do you calculate compensating me for lost wages? Mysteriously, of course, those comments did not show up the last few times I checked the app. And then I also asked the person that made these false allegations, what will happen to them? Will you kick them off the platform or whatever? Those kind of questions. And mysteriously, those remarks too do not show up on the app when I check it. So, Uber says 180 days of change, and they have made some positive changes. But to accuse someone of something, even though they say they didn't accuse me, but more than accuse me, you actually already convicted me because I'm being punished in that I can't operate off of the Uber platform until you get done with your investigation. And then once you find out that I've done nothing wrong, I know Uber is not going to pay me because, again, mysteriously, my comments that I'm mentioning now are not there. And then, of course, the little smiley face thing comes up. How satisfied are you with Uber? So, of course, I hit the middle one that kind of has the kind of frowny face that's kind of a straight line, but not quite frowning, but, straight line. Somewhere in the middle. Because, yes, you can still make good side money in the Hampton Roads market. Outside of Hampton Roads and bigger metros, you can live off of it in bigger metros, but in my market, side money. But nonetheless, some of that old culture that was with Travis Kalanick, who, by the way, folks, even though Dara, as you know from other channels, even though Dara, however the hell you say his last name, is running the show now, and that might be a good thing, Travis is still on the board, and Travis is still very much there. And those loyal to Travis and how Travis does his BS, they're still there. A lot of them are still there. So, yeah. And by the way, I'm still interested and open, as I think I mentioned in the comments of my last video. If there's any lawyers out there in the 757 that want to take on this case, and I guess what's the word, pro bono. And you get a percentage of the winnings if we win. I'm interested in speaking to you. A friend of mine said, for defamation. So I'm interested in speaking to you because, Uber says they're in the comments that they're not trying to be accusatory, but not only have they already accused me, but they've already convicted me via the fact that I've lost wages, or potential wages, you know. And so I'm thinking to myself, how many other drivers, thousands of drivers, if not hundreds of thousands of drivers, has this happened to? And so where I'm going with this is, it probably won't just be me. It'll probably, if I do get into litigation with Uber, it'll probably be a class action lawsuit. Bad press for Uber. Something Uber doesn't really need right now with their 180 days of change. But unfortunately, again, Travis, he might not run the show no more, but he's still there. His minions, some of his minions are still there. And, you know, there are things they've changed. For example, drivers getting $15 now for returning lost items. But you guys have probably seen my 401 West Lane video where I had a hard time figuring out whom it was. I could never figure out exactly whom it was because the information, I didn't have enough information to match up what trip it was. So I made the effort to return the item and nothing. It's like, because I couldn't do anything with the lack of information that I had. So, you know, for me, the return item thing is more of a gimmick. And now the six destinations a day as opposed to 2. That's good. I mean, that's good. You know, that can be good. You know, stuff like that. But what Uber needs to do is Uber needs to go ahead and raise them rates. Because even when they raise them rates, it's still cheaper than a cab. And when I say raise them rates, I'm not talking about Uber raising the rates via another booking fee that we don't get a dime or penny from the booking fee as drivers. And Lyft, you're not out of hot water either. It's just that, you know, you're small or whatever, you know. You're kind of in a position where you've got to kind of follow whatever Uber's doing to stay relevant. So, you know, but Lyft too need to raise them rates. They need to raise them rates, I think, in the Hampton Roads market as far as what the driver actually gets by at least $2. If Uber did that, man, drivers would be so much happy in the 757. You too, Lyft. But in the Lyft Uber game, Uber's a big brother, Lyft's little brother, so whatever Uber does, Lyft will follow. Funny how this phone makes things brighter than it actually is here with the naked human eye. It's actually brighter. But then once it gets dark, the phone can hardly pick up what the human eye can see. It's funny how that works. But anyway, guys, from Farmville, Virginia, at the Farmville, if I'm butchering your name, I know there's no Uber here, but if I'm butchering your name, I apologize. You have a nice little school here. Go Falcons. I guess it's Falcons there. It is, yeah. But, you know, I tried the Uber passenger app here just for S's and G's. I pretty much expected no cars available. And, yeah, there's no cars available here. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, that's the update. Drive safe. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, where hopefully by tomorrow I'll look at my app and see that I've been reinstated. But I'm sure Uber is not going to compensate me a single nickel for lost wages. Drive safe.